I'll never forget when I first got there, my father dropped me off. I cried. I cried because I was never really away from my parents. And on the seventh day, okay, I rose.
You figured that thing out.
I figured it out.
That?
On the seventh day, I said, no more. No more. It's time.
Get it together.
The time is now. Okay, pull it up by the bootstraps.
Yeah.
And let's go get it.
Welcome back to Chinasa's Cocoon. My name is Coach Cecily, and I'm a bounce back coach. You are invited into Chinasa's Cocoon, as I mentioned, and this is my podcast called Beyond the Bounce Back, How Setbacks Unleash Your Inner Visionary. Today, I'm super excited to welcome a special guest. So please share your name, the year you graduated Syracuse, and what you currently do today.
My name is Kenneth Barney. I'm a graduate in 1987 of Syracuse University, mathematics and computer science. And currently right now I'm employed with NYU. I do the IT for NYU, all global campuses, and here 210 buildings here in the city as well. Wow. So that's all the moves, adds, and changes of all of the network equipment. We make sure that everybody has internet access and wireless as well. It's a very fulfilling job. It's a busy job. All right, and I've been doing it for the last 13 years.
Wow.
Yes, so I've made a nice career out of it.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yes.
So let's dive right in. Can you describe, Kenny, a pivotal moment during your Syracuse University years that significantly impacted your trajectory? Either your trajectory through Syracuse's program or maybe your trajectory in life. So the pivotal moment of your Syracuse years, and then what were the circumstances that surrounded it, and how did it make you feel at that time?
So the pivotal moment was when I transferred into Syracuse because I started at Utica College. So at Utica, I was aeronautical engineering, and they did not have that in major at Utica, so I had to transfer to Syracuse. So the reason I got to Utica is because at Syracuse that year, 1981, there were so many applicants that they did not have enough housing for us. So they said, you can go to Utica College at the time, but the caveat was we'll give you a Syracuse University degree. So you were able to get a Syracuse University degree without paying Syracuse University tuition. So that was huge for me. So I stayed at Utica for 2 years, and then I came back up and I graduated and went to Syracuse. So that was the pivotal time because at Utica I was able to meet some people that pretty much formed my trajectory. A lot of the black students there wasn't many of us, so a lot of them were mentors to me. So being there with the older senior classes that were there, they were able to point out some things, some pitfalls, making sure that you studied. All right, you had your library time and you had your recreational time as well. So they were very they were very instrumental in making sure that I stayed on the right track with my studies and my quiet time, my social time. Yes.
That was super important. Yes, because the distractions.
Yes.
But as you know, this podcast is about how setbacks actually seeded or fueled an idea, forward momentum. So I'm wondering, as you look back, if you can identify a specific challenge or setback that tested your resilience during your time there at Syracuse, or is it at Utica?
Utica,
okay.
Yeah, but Utica and Syracuse when I transferred. Specific setbacks, I would say probably academically. There was a time where my cumulative average wasn't where I needed it to be. So I had to do a huge reset and put my priorities in order. And so that was to make sure that we were above that 2.5 cut. All right, I did not want to be there. So what it was for me was, hey, let's make sure that we get the books in order. Don't forget why you are here. All right, in school and in college, and surround myself with people that were doing that.
Okay, so you talk about making sure that your grade point average was above a certain level.
Correct.
And I actually experienced where mine dipped below
Right.
that level, that
Right.
danger zone.
There you go.
And they actually suspended me.
Oh no.
But more on that later.
More on that later.
Yes. So It sounds like you were able to pull it off. Did you ever experience where maybe, your grades had dipped to a certain low that said to you, if I don't turn this thing around, they might invite me to go home?
So what it was for me was just personal pride.
Okay.
I was pretty smart in high school, and I was looking to transfer that over to my college years and my college studies, but I had to do more than what I was doing in high school. So it was really telling myself that dig down deep, you can do it. This is why you're here. Surround myself with people that were doing it, and use them as a positive influence to make sure, because I knew I could do the work. That was the thing. I knew I could do the work, and I have and it was a matter of personal pride as well. Whereas my parents were used to me performing at a certain level, so bringing my card home, my grades home at that particular time, and then showing them, it did make me feel proud, and that's what I wanted to do. Make sure that I'm making sure that what they sent me to school for, I was doing.
I love that. So it sounds like
Right.
you had the community that you needed to stay the course.
Yes.
Okay, and
Yes.
that's wonderful.
Yes.
That's
My father wasn't taking it either.
Come on. Come on.
My father knew I could do that work, so I did not want to, put him in a position or be in a position where I had to leave school or anything like that, because it was hard-earned money to get through school. All right, and he was paying for that, so I wanted to make sure that I was doing my part.
I love that.
Yes.
So did you have any challenges at Syracuse that maybe, you had the support mechanism, you had the sense of responsibility, you were clear on what the goal was, but like some of us, you experienced a difficulty, a hardship, a challenge
Right.
that could encourage somebody coming up behind you?
Well, I would say some financial challenges, financial
about
and
it.
academic. That's always there, and that's why you should, try your best. Well, that's why you should do your best, because sometimes I know I had a lot of friends that did not return back to school because of academic and financial challenges. So those are my two challenges there, financial and academic. But I straightened that out. All right. Again, I dug down deep, surrounded myself with good friends. All right, intelligent people that had study hours. They would go and listen, we're going into the library. Instead of going to the gym, hey, let's go to the library. So again, using them as role models, I was able to pull through.
And that
Yes.
community and that accountability that's built into the community is so critical.
Right. So I'm talking about my frat, Alpha Alpha. I'm talking about the Black Student Union. Okay. Just older seniors that were there at the campus that I played basketball with and things like that. So it was a community of all of us, including my family, that where I was able to pull through.
I love that.
Yes.
Can you explain how overcoming the challenge of, just maintaining a balance between fun and academics and answering to your parents, your dad? I know my
Right.
dad.
Yeah, listen, they wasn't having it. And, believe it or not, I started college when I was 16 years old.
Okay.
All right, so I got skipped and I had a late birthday.
Okay.
So I was up there again socially. A 16-year-old in a college environment.
Wow.
Not an easy.
No.
Never really away from home, from Queens. So it was time to man up.
Yeah. How about that?
It was time to man up. So I'll never forget when I first got there. My father dropped me off. I cried. I cried because I was never really away from my parents. And on the 7th day, Okay, I rose.
You figured that thing out.
I figured
How
it
about
out.
that?
On the 7th day, I said no more. No more. It's time.
Get it together.
Your time is now. Okay, pull it up by the bootstraps.
Yeah.
And let's go get it. Let's go get it. So
I love that. You talk
Yes.
about that drop off.
Listen.
I've heard that throughout
Yes.
a few stories today. That
unbelievable.
drop off.
It's
Oh
something else.
my goodness,
It's
is something else, especially
Yes.
when you're from, I was born and raised in Queens. I
Yes.
grew up in Manhattan.
Okay.
And I preferred Manhattan because my father gave me more liberty to just be outside.
Right.
In Queens, it was lockdown
Locked
city.
down. Locked down.
Don't get off this stoop. Don't go off this block.
How about
yes.
that?
And so it really does sort of shield you and shelter you.
Shelter you, yes,
So that when you
yes.
get to a huge school and a
Right.
party school like SU,
Yes.
I
yes,
mean,
yes,
that
yes.
drop off is a thing.
It was big.
Yes.
And that's right. Yeah. And going from Utica, where you have about 2,000 students, to Syracuse, where at that time 11,000, 12,000 students on campus, it was huge. It was huge. But Utica prepared me for that.
So can you talk specifically about how Utica prepared you for your professional career and navigating through those hallways, those arenas?
Yes, I had the help of my professors, all right, and I had the help of my frat brothers. Okay, so they were huge in getting me through because they knew I was young, all right, and there were certain things I have not experienced before, living by myself, having to deal and take care of myself. Again, at 16, it wasn't easy to do, all right, but those first couple of years, aligning myself with the right people, I was able to do that. So I did not do this on my own. You can't do it on your own. You should not even try to do it on your own. You need
So
the
good.
help of faculty, staff and administration to get you through.
You know, you said something really important that I wish someone had said to me, that you should not do it on your own,
You
because
can't
I
do
was
it
a
on your
lone
own.
wolf.
Right, same here.
Yes.
I was the same way.
Yes, and
Yep.
to your point, college is not something that's designed for somebody to do in some sort of silo. So
Yes, exactly.
what advice would you give to someone who maybe comes in with that, I can do it on my own, I don't need anybody? What kind of advice would you give to that person who maybe struggles to
Right.
reach out and request help?
Right. My advice is to align yourself with the people that are in your major. Make friends with them, study groups with them. It's very easy to do.
Yeah.
Enlist the help of those class hours. Go to class first of all.
First of
How about
all,
let's
second
do
of
that.
all,
Yes, and
third
the
of
professor
all.
has hours after that. Make sure you go to him if you're struggling in it, and get that one-on-one. Seek that one-on-one to get yourself and make yourself better, more familiar with your class studies and your major. In addition to that, you might have friends that you just have, like, that you'll meet in your dorm room and your cafeteria and things like that. Again, find out what they're about and make friends. I mean, this is the best social environment probably you'll ever have in your life, where people aren't out to get you and things like that, backstab you and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I
So
love that.
yeah, use that. And if you like the fraternity or sorority, whatever you are, you might want to seek and enlist, membership to that.
I love that.
Yes.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug, everybody. Sorry about that.
I love it.
Yes, but those relationships that you have, again, they don't stop after college. So those are relationships that can last you a lifetime and benefit
Yes.
you for a lifetime.
So good.
Yes.
So looking back, what was your vision for yourself after graduating from Syracuse? And has that vision evolved over time?
So my vision was to graduate, get a job, and move out.
Period.
Period. Did not want to be home.
And
Did
in
not
that
want to
order.
be in that order.
Come
Did not
on.
want to be home with Pop. All right. Lived on my own now. I did not want to go back to rules and regimentation.
Right.
It was just too suffering.
Yes.
At that time. And I think my father expected that. My parents expected that from me as well. So that was my vision. That was my vision. And I've always kept that. I wanted to be a professional. I wanted to be successful, and I wanted to be a professional. I think that I have accomplished that in my
Sounds
career.
like it.
So 35 years in. Most of my career was with Verizon Telecommunications. I did that for 23 years. And then I moved over to IT for NYU for the last 13 years. So I have about 5 years left, God willing,
Come on.
to retirement. But I feel as though I'm very successful. My family has done well. My kids are doing fantastic as well. So, and
Thank God.
also to make sure, part of my vision was, if I did have children, to make sure that they got through college. That was going to be my major focus with them, to get them through high school, get them through college.
So good.
So to make sure that they get that degree. Because once you have that degree, nobody can take it away from you, and you do anything you want with it as well. So that was my vision.
So you were a
Moving forward.
visionary even then, where you saw beyond yourself and you
Yes.
were thinking with a legacy mindset.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So good.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, talking about your father and not my dad helped me to catch a vision as to how my room would be redecorated
Really.
right after I graduated from high school and went to
And-
college. He
and
was
it
like,
didn't-
"See where your bed is? This is where my easel
And it
going to be."
didn't include you.
And it didn't look anything like my
Right.
bedroom.
How about
Looked
that?
like a studio, an
How
art
about that?
studio.
An
So
art
yeah, talk
studio.
about
Yes,
being a
I can see
visionary.
it.
He helped me to catch a vision.
Catch a vision.
To the glory of God. All right, so last question.
Yes.
How do you hope that your story will inspire future generations of Black and Latino students coming through Syracuse's program, or any program,
Right,
but
so-
specifically SU?
Okay, so don't fall into the pitfalls of the social life. Okay, the
Talk
party
about
life. Listen, the party life will be there for you. You're there for a specific reason. You're there to become a professional. You're there to graduate, all right, and become a degree holder, be awarded a degree. So make sure that continues to be your focus at all times. At all times. I know you come up there young, sometimes immature, not really focused on what you need to do. But maintain that focus as best you can. All right, because you want to get there, you want to get out in 4 years. Okay, because it's expensive. College now is just unbelievable. I can't believe the tuition rates right now, but that
Unfathomable.
is unbelievable. That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
So how I've helped in that area through my fraternity, I had a frat brother that passed away, who went to Utica College of Syracuse University back then. So with my contacts and my frat now, we have established an endowed scholarship in his name at Utica College. So for Black and Latino students, so that if they need additional monies, again, this isn't going to pay for your tuition, but if you need additional monies, travel money, book money, lunch money,
helps.
things like that, every little bit helps. So
Every little bit.
I've endowed a $25,000 scholarship in
Beautiful.
last 2 years in his name. So I give
What
back.
was his name?
His name was Robert D. Horton. So it's the Robert D. Horton Scholarship of Utica College.
Legacy.
And again, it's being successful, doing what you could do, and then, hey, the ones behind you, give them away so that they can be successful as well.
I love that.
Yes.
Last question. How important is the Black and Latino alumni network to you, and how can it be strengthened?
Wow, I think to me it's very, very strong. Rachel has reached out to me as far as fundraising is concerned, so it's not like I feel like I'm distant from it. I feel attached to Syracuse University. I attend all the CBTs. I think they're wonderful events. I think they throw an excellent event, like the venue. Even this is the barbecue. I think is fantastic. CBTs are through the roof. Exciting. It's so good to see people that I work with, went to school with, and worked with on several projects, some frat brothers and things like that. But it's all about trying to reach out to them, and I guess having events in the city I think is huge. I think that we have a very good alumni population in New York City. So I think reaching out to them and having events to bring them together, because even at this event I don't see a lot of the graduating classes that came after us. You know, that could be increased. And it's easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. Life is tough right now.
Indeed.
All right. So if we can do that, a couple more events in the city, I think that would help us out tremendously. Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Kenny.
And thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yes.
I
this
appreciate
has been
it.
Fantastic.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.